Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. I have a surprise for you all today. I'm not going to tell you what it is until we get there, but trust me, we'll get there in about 30 seconds here and it'll be very exciting when it happens. Those of you who have been around for a while, I have a pretty good relationship with the Lost Pilgrims devs, the team that's made the Vagrus the Riven Realms. And I reached out to them recently and was like, hey, can you help me with something? There's something that I missed. Hey, leave me alone. I'm friends with the church. There's something that I missed early on in the campaign, and I was wondering if you could help me find it again. And they were like, we'll see what we can do. And lo and behold, they were able to help me. And after this rest, I think we should run into it right about now? Yes. So, I can't remember exactly what episode it was, but the first time we went to Devon, I ran into this event here where you find another comitatus that has been devastated by some sort of attack. And in my naivete, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm tangling with this. I have one orc man and a guy who's got a praying mantis arm. Back when I only had Gorgoro and Harvick. And I was like, I cannot deal with this. So I just bailed, and to my regret ever since, this is how you recruit Finndurarth. So thank you to the devs for helping me and everybody else see Finndurarth's questline finally. So, let's get into it. There is a yell ahead as one of your Vanguard scouts signals the comitatus about something on the road. It takes only a few minutes to reach it and see what it is. Another comitatus. Only this one has upturned carts and dead beasts along with its massacred crew. Bodies are everywhere, lying on the road and on the side of the dike, bloody, mutilated even. There is also the stench of burnt flesh in the air. From where you stopped, it seems that nobody is moving. Mustn't have been long ago, one of your commies informs you. Maybe several hours from the looks of it. Even now, most of your crew is looking around anxiously, holding weapons ready for an ambush. Let's investigate the wreckage. You take some of your most trusted commies and approach the wreckage carefully. Getting closer without any issue, you can observe the destruction from up close. It appears that someone set an ambush for the unfortunate comitatus here. The carts are indeed damaged, and some of them are turned to their side. Yet the cargo seems to have been barely touched, which means that the attackers either had no time to loot or were not interested in the goods. Most beasts of burden were killed very early in the attack, struck down by arrows and javelins. The crew and guards were massacred when they tried to defend themselves. They seemed like your regular trader's sort, although a few among them were wearing colored steel armor, the likes of which you have only seen on soldiers of the dragon armies. Everything points to the assault being well coordinated, the work of professionals. After a while, you identify the attackers. They look like mercenaries in dark armor. A scout tells you that she does not think any of them got away. Then there are the burn marks all over the place. Whatever caused them must have been potent, like dwarven bombs, only smaller. It scorched carts, the stones of the road, and people alike, perhaps even killing some of them. The strangest is a pair of corpses fused together as if petrified into a lethal hug, but what you can only imagine was some kind of devastating arcane force. They are so badly burned it is impossible to make out who or what they once were. Suddenly, there is an anguished cry from the other side of the wreckage. You and your fighters rush to see a young woman whose right leg is stuck under a fallen cart, lying on the ground. Desperate, but unable to get away from a man in leather armor crawling towards her, brandishing a long knife. He has almost reached her, raising the knife high to strike, while the woman is trying to kick him away to no avail. Neither of them has seen you yet. Do not interfere. Awful. Rush to the woman's aid. You leap forward and finish the man off with a single decisive whack to the back of the head. The dagger falls on the ground from the mercenary's now limp hand, and the terrified woman looks up at you in utter shock. Now it is clear that she is a dragonkin, with fine scale covering part of her body, along with small barb-like bone spikes. Her reptilian eyes are wide. She sputters unintelligibly for a few moments before finally managing to speak coherently. Who? She seems suddenly realize something.
You're not one of them.
Ah! She slides back on the ground and laughs. Oh, she's excited. Yeah, you can see tears in her eyes. It takes her several minutes to calm down, and you use that to have your crew free her leg and tend to her wounds.
I am very grateful,
she says eventually, wiping her eyes and gritting her teeth as her leg is set and bandaged.
I'm the luckiest person alive, really. What were the chances that someone shows up just before...
Her voice breaks, but she composes herself.
I cannot thank you enough, Vagrus, but I am forgetting my manners. Forgive me, my name is Finndurarth. I am a representative of the Dragonlands. Well, of the Blue Brood, to be precise. Thank you for saving my life.
You ask her how she ended up here. Finndurarth seems a little reluctant at first, but then she clears her throat and looks you in the eye.
My superior and I are diplomats on a mission given to us by the leaders of the Blue Brood. We hired this comitatus,
she indicates the wreckage around her,
after leaving our homeland, to take us south where we were to meet someone important. Everything went smoothly until the attack. We did not expect anything like it, and why would we have? Our mission is important, but not clandestine by any stretch of the imagination. But these murderers were clearly here to kill us. They even had a sorcerer with them to hide their presence and to counter the magical abilities of my superior and my own.
She stops and looks around, then struggles to her feet. You follow her to the place where the two burnt corpses are, twisted into a single morbid column of charred flesh, forever locked in a deadly embrace. There Finndurarth breaks down crying and falls to her knees. Tell her you haven't got all day. Rude. Remain tactful, but console her. Of course you assholes lose loyalty. I'm gonna have to give everybody a present after this. You tell her that she is safe now, that she should be resting, and ask her how you can be of assistance. It does not seem to help, but then you give Finndurarth a cape that she manages to drape around her shoulders, and slowly but steadily the weeping comes to an end.
I'm sorry, I did not know that Hathardos, my superior, too well. I was assigned to him as a diplomatic attaché only fairly recently, she sighs, having finally conquered the sobs. But he was a good man. To see him end like this, he saved me, too, you know. I got stuck beneath the cart during the attack. After arcane missiles hit the column, Hathardos blinked forward from a safe spot and grabbed the enemy sorcerer before he could finish me off. We were seriously outmatched, so he used his remaining arcane might to create an explosion that killed them both, along with many mercenaries around them. You instruct your crew to put the bodies to rest. You move away from the worst part, and Finndurarth calms herself with a drink of cool water. You probably have questions. I'll try to answer them as best I can.
You do have questions. What would you like to ask Finndurarth? Ask who she is.
As I said, I am a diplomat. Well, a diplomatic attaché of the Dragonlands. I was born and raised at Tempest Peak, the nest of the Blue Dragon Lord, Doran Manthur. I was instructed in the ways of dragon magic and the art of diplomacy. This, she glances around with sadness, was my first real assignment.
There was a momentary pause.
But I shall not give up. I am more determined now than ever before that this mission is important, and I have to see it through.
Ask her something else. Ask her why she was here and what this mission of hers is.
Right. The mission is exactly why we were here. I cannot disclose many details, unfortunately. I am sorry, Vagrus, but this is a matter of state and my professional integrity. Yet it is by no means clandestine or menacing, I can assure you. What I can say is that my superior, the diplomat Hathardos, and I were sent south to Kurnak Station in order to meet a contact there, and to be escorted to a meeting of diplomats. We left the Dragonlands through the Sapphire Pass, then traveled west until we reached the Emperor's Road. Turning south, we were making good progress until this vile ambush happened.
Finndurarth clears her throat.
I have to carry on, no question about it. I have to make it to Kurnak.
Ask about the attack? Finndurarth becomes visibly shaken at the mention of the attack. You are afraid that she will break down crying again, but she composes herself eventually.
It happened fast, she chuckles bitterly. In broad daylight, the sorcerer used a spell to distort the view and hide the mercenaries. The Comitatus crew started falling to arrows the moment the illusion went down. Their Vagrus was among the first slain. Missiles of crackling energy burned people and exploded so violently that some of the carts were turned to their side. The little fight that we could put up was over with quickly as the killers and their mage moved in. The only real resistance the ambushers faced came from our handful of accompanying Dragon Guard soldiers. soldiers, and Hathardos himself. They pushed the attackers back and made quick work of about a dozen before long. She shakes her head. I tried to be useful, but I am ashamed that I admit I got bested fairly quickly. Perhaps I should not have attacked their mage. His power was too strong for me to counter. Carts flew up in the air, one landing on my leg after the mage's missiles hit the column. But then Hathardos sacrificed himself by teleporting next to the sorcerer and releasing an arcane explosion that burned them both, along with most of the remaining mercenaries. I passed out, and when I came to, I was in the middle of the destruction. I have no idea how the remaining attackers died, but my hunch is that the Dragon Guard dealt with them before succumbing to their wounds. Only that one man remained who came to and tried to stab me just before you showed up. She considers something before concluding her account. The attack was decisive. It was planned out meticulously, no doubt, although you have to forgive me for not being impressed by such murderous perfectionism. At any rate, it is clear that someone wanted us to fail badly enough to hire these assassins, no doubt for a veritable fortune. And then ask what she wants to do now. The Dragonkin woman thinks for a second and then sighs. I have to finish what we started. What happened here does not make my mission any less important. On the contrary, more than ever before, I think we have set out to do is important. Important enough for someone to kill for it, apparently. I shall honor the work in memory of Hathardos and these unfortunate souls, and do my job. All right, make your decision. You know that you have to decide what happens to Finndurarth now, and she seems to be aware of it too. She looks at you and listening intently, awaiting for what you're going to say. Offer to take her to Kernak. You would? Finndurarth's eyes go wide. Oh, thank the flame. Thank you. You have no idea how important this is. Not just to me, but to my land as well. Maybe to all the realms. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. It's just that I'm still shocked not only to be lucky enough to survive the ambush, but to be aided by you, Vagrus. She rises and is about to limp to one of your carts, but then stops and turns to you. That said, I must say that it is a matter of utmost importance that I make it to Kernak in time. My contact will not wait for me forever. If we do not get there in about 3 weeks' time, I'll have to leave you and make my own way there. She manages a smile. But worry not, I will make myself useful as soon as my wound is healed. As a reward, I offer you the dragon steel of my former companions, along with the cargo of our unfortunate comitatus, as well as guarantee the gratitude of the Dragonlands. Finndurarth seems very satisfied with herself and heads towards your carts. The devastated comitatus carries spice and coffee on top of a healthy stack of supplies. Your crew help themselves to the fallen weapons and belongings while you take coin off the dead Vagrus. Unfortunately, you learn nothing about the assailants' gear other than the fact that they were quite well equipped. You also load the dragon steel belongings of the armored Dragonland warriors before leaving. After you are packed up and checking on the resting Finndurarth, you order your crew to move out. Soon the decimated comitatus is only a speck on the horizon behind you. And after another couple of minutes, not even that. Dude, dragon steel scraps. Isn't that illegal? Hold on. Yeah, totally. And I forgot I had a dragon bone in my inventory. All right, cool. Well, we're going to turn around immediately and just head back to Torzag's and then Kernak beyond. So yeah, thank you so much to the dev team for resetting her quest essentially so that I could actually recruit her. That you have no idea how jazzed I am to actually be able to do Finndurarth's quest line. It's very exciting. So look forward to a few more episodes of Vagrus than I was anticipating doing. Basically, I was planning on knocking out Javik's quest and then, calling it quits until the DLC comes out next year. But looks like we have Finndurarth and Javik to finish. So before I forget, why don't we give everybody a present? I did not mean to talk to you. There no presents to be had. I have to get him some mushroom beer and or some luxury wine, or both. Give Javik a gift, have an arcane text, and a Tarkian carpet. Enough chatting. You just want money, right? Or gadgets. I think when you get your companions high enough, they just stop accepting certain gifts and or all gifts. Like once they've hit loyalty. Gift her a weapon. Yeah, that's all I can do. Nadir, you can
like, take a lot of stuff. Pure white crystal, demon horn? Sure, why not give her a demon horn too? I'm not doing anything with this stuff anyway. Like, I could sell it, but I'm not hurting for money, so I think just gifting it to my companions is fine. Gift him a gift, arcane text, ancient tablet. Discuss life drain? Nope. Gorgoro, you're probably in great mood, honestly. Loyal. Yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. You want some drugs, man? Nope. Are you loyal too? Sure are. Nice. Well, if that's the case, let's just check in with Javik real quick. No, he doesn't have anything to say. He might come to me, honestly. I don't actually know. I can't remember if he told me to come talk to him or if he's like, I'll come talk to you when I'm ready. I guess we'll find out. All right, let's get our energetic stuff back up. Finndurarth is getting better. I have to imagine having a cart land on top of your leg would be like, and breaking it, incredibly painful, right? Honestly, like having anything dropped on your leg and breaking it would be incredibly painful. You notice Finndurarth sitting at the campfire talking to people. She still uses a large Slarad femur she got from a crew member a few days ago as a crutch to walk around, but apparently her leg is almost fully healed now. And her being miserable when not socializing, it is no wonder she takes every opportunity to speak to the crew. She notices you and smiles, beckons you over. You indulge her. You join Finndurarth and the two of you chat briefly about neutral things before she commends your crew. Your people seem an all right sort, she confides. Some of them made sure I rest undisturbed and eat my fill every day since you've taken me in. I'm very grateful, Vagrus. You comment on how she seems to be getting better. I am, she frowns as she straightens her leg. Though it still hurts some, but yes, I'm definitely better now. She sips water from her earthenware mug. Listen, I wanted to talk to you. Is this a good time? You tell her you are listening. While I was recovering, I was thinking about the ambush and what it all means. I had little else to occupy myself with. The whole matter is very suspicious. Like I said, our mission is not clandestine, but it was It was a well-kept secret nonetheless. This means that someone has betrayed us, and I cannot understand why. It was in nobody's interest to sabotage us as far as I can tell. Unless... Finndurarth pauses and narrows her eyes. Unless the Imperials felt it would give the Dragonlands an edge, and they somehow learned of it. The assassins were indistinct but well-equipped and probably freelancers, which means the client wanted everyone to be unaware of who they were, disguising it as an outlaw attack. Also, they must have cost a fortune. It would fit Imperial operations as far as I know. Keep listening. You tell her that you're too tired for this now. I apologize if I seem to be rambling. I know I haven't talked about my mission, and I have good reasons for that, but I may have to trust you with some details if you are to assist me in this. Long story short, the guide we were supposed to meet in Kernak was tasked with taking us to a previously undisclosed location, the site of a meeting between envoys. This meeting was to discuss a matter between several dragon broods, and the reason for it not being involved in being in the Dragonlands is because, she holds a dramatic pause, the Black Brood is involved. Finndurarth strokes her chin thoughtfully. Because the convocation's agenda concerns the Dragonlands and Dragmalak, I never considered that anyone would want to thwart it, but that may have been naive. And if some power profits from hindering the cause of dragonkind, it is the Imperials, I suppose. That is why I think they must have somehow learned of this and set up the ambush. She smiles faintly and chugs down the rest of her water. All this intrigue is making my head hurt, but I should go and hit the sack. Thank you for indulging me, Vagrus, and have a good night. Finndurarth rises with some difficulty and limps toward her tent. Soon you go to bed too. Hey, I'll take free insight. I can listen to somebody talk at me if I get free insight out of it. Why not? Off we go. Just one more vigor. We're almost to Torzag's. I feel like Kernak is like 5 days beyond Torzag's shelter. Let's pop in here real quick. Approach the guards. Nothing to hide. If I'd been thinking about it, I could have grabbed some stuff. Here, have the dragon steel and the dragon bone. I could have grabbed some stuff from Arcane before I went out, but I was too excited to get Finndurarth to care. All right. Is there anything for Kurnak? I would be kind of surprised. Or the Twin Towers would be acceptable, because we actually have to go down there to deliver, or like get a letter, or like we have to do something at the Twin Towers. I forget exactly what. For the prince? Haha! One thing. Two stacks of linen. How weird. Any metal? No scrap metal. Any scrap metal from the factions? No. Well, alrighty then. Does the Twin Towers buy anything? Like, it's been a while since I've been there. Doesn't look like you can make that much money on metal. That seems foolhardy at best. Anything of crafted goods? Not really. Pottery is really the one thing that you can buy in bulk in Torzag Shelter. Looks like you could make a silver per stack. It's not a lot. Maybe we just buy all the supplies, honestly. Just call it a day. We could buy pottery. Yeah, why don't we just buy all the Hanjari pottery and then all the carpenter's pottery as well? There. And then we'll yeet all of that in the Twin Towers. Okay, cool. Let's head out. Let's get to Kurnak before the end of the episode, and we can drop off or escort Finndurarth there or wherever. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, you know what I mean. End the day. And then we'll force march today. So we might get there today. Maybe. Might be a little short. Oh, so close. In we go. Hello, hello. Find the guide. Do you guys want pottery? You do. What if I sell pottery until the price goes down? All right, that's good enough. You got any missions for me in the Twin Towers direction? Because I can always grab the stuff going the other way on the way back through. Looks like not. Okay, find the guide. It sounds like taking somebody along would be a good idea. You accompany Finndurarth to the tavern, where her contact is supposed to be waiting in a back room. Before entering, you come to the conclusion that a smaller group would be less likely to draw attention, and the Dragonkin mage asks for discretion. Most of the Comitatus is still striking the camp at the side of the Kurnak building complex anyhow. Take somebody along. Gorgoro, you're like my main man. Can put her in front of Finndurarth at the very least. Him in front of Finndurarth. Your small team enters the smoke-filled common room, where all kinds of travelers crowd together to relax. Mugs are raised in toast, and patrons roar in laughter at the recitation of nasty jokes or bawdy songs as you sit down at a more remote table out of view. All right, it seems the guide left a message as he is waiting for me in a back room, Finndurarth confides as she returns from a short trip to the bar, harried by the inappropriate gazes of men. She does not seem to mind, or else does not notice. Instead, she is eyeing the mug of mushroom ale she bought to look casual suspiciously, and then looks up and adds, "The bartender told me." There is no time to waste, so she rises to go and meet the man. We don't let her go. People have been trying to kill her. Insists that she should take your companion with her. She is not happy, but goes along with it. Finndurarth and her escort disappear into a side corridor guarded by a bouncer. You ready yourself for a long wait as such negotiations tend to get drawn out for hours, but you are soon jerked out of your reverie by a mild tremor followed by a ferocious thunderclap. It came from the corridor the two of your companions walked down, and now everyone in the common room stares wide-eyed in that direction. There is another thunderclap and some yelling muffled by the distance. Just as the bouncer gathers his wits and is about to investigate, weapon drawn, Finndurarth appears from the corridor and the bruiser steps back instinctively. Her expression, a mask of anger, would be alone enough to intimidate anyone, but the envoy also crackles with small sparks of lightning and is followed by your other grim-faced companion. They push past the bouncer as the commotion in the room escalates, and you reach them just by the bar.
There was an assassin waiting for me.
I told you, gotta send Gorgoro with her wherever she goes. She blurts out and storms towards the exit.
We managed to discover his ambush and kill him before he got to us.
Finndurarth laughs bitterly.
I can't believe it. I survived another attempt on my life. The guide was not that lucky, though. He must have been murdered when the killers saw me arrive in Kernek. But that means they've been waiting for us. Why?
By the time you reach the door, the barman is yelling at you to take whatever this feud is outside, while the patrons in the common room eye each other warily. All right, we're going to pause the episode there. This is a great place to pause, and we will jump back in right here at the beginning of next episode. So, if you guys enjoyed the episode, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus the Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody!